Hi, this is Bobby from Horse Tender Studio, and once again I'm doing something a little different. I'm doing a nighttime video, trying it out. It's nighttime here in Japan. It's just after 8 p.m. I think, so that means it's about 6 a.m. Eastern Time in the US. I've got a cat that's pawing at me right now. Anyway, I haven't done a video in a while. I think the last video I did was kind of impromptu in Australia in the field with Cazador. My cat hears me talking, so she wants to talk. Here she is. My supervisor, always. Yeah. Yeah, I think the last video that I posted was in Australia. So we went to Australia. We were there for 2 weeks. It was absolutely incredible. I just kind of still can't put into words how amazing it was. It was just 2 weeks of incredible scenery and being around real horses every day for the first time in almost, well, over 3 years now. So the horses were right there in the yard every morning and all day at night. They were just there and you could go out and love on them, and it was just amazing. And Cazador's new owners, Warwick and Marie, are just fantastic people. They're the most supportive people I've met in a long time. Jeff and I just felt like we could talk to either one of them about anything, and we did. We talked a lot about, you know, horses and hopes and dreams and artistic things and engineering and business concepts, and it was just incredible. The first 2 days that we were back, I just kind of found myself sitting around trying to process everything that had happened and kind of some of the big plans I had made while I was there, because towards the end of our time there, I was actually kind of just like chomping at the bit to get home and get to work, because so many awesome ideas had come in and things that we talked about. One thing I think I mentioned in the video with Cazador is that I've got some news, model horse related and Cazador related news. Basically what I did while I was there is I did extensive measurements of him. This is something that I learned when I did the day in the studio with Candace Liddy a number of years ago. She taught me how to measure a live horse for a sculpture. Just kind of some of the key points. So I did, unfortunately I didn't have my checklist from her with me, but I know I did all of the measurements that she and I talked about, and probably a lot more. I measured every part of Cazador and the circumference of everything and the length of everything, and came back with pages and pages of measurements, and my hope is to translate that into an original sculpture, which will then be resin cast. It's been a long time coming. I've wanted to sculpt a horse for a long time. This will actually be the first one that I finish, hopefully, but I'm really going to hold myself to it. I have I guess two original sculptures kind of that have been in progress for a long time. I have one that I started with Candace, and he's just kind of been my epoxy dump for a while. Whenever I have extra epoxy, I might slap it on him or whatever, but he's got a long way to go. And then I've got he's like a large classic scale thoroughbred is what I plan for him to be. And then I've got a little stablemate scale cutting calf that I had started a long time ago. Anyway, so that's the big plan. You're hearing it here first, the plan for a Cazador resin. And so I'm hoping to get started on that fairly soon, as far as the basic armature, maybe throwing some clay or epoxy on there and just kind of as a starting point. I added several horses to the herd models while I was in Australia. I decided that I really wanted to try to find a briar dealer while I was there, if possible, just to say that I got a briar from Australia. And so I found one. There's this really cool store called Horseland, and several of them there, and found out that they all carry briars. And so one of them happened to be really close to where we were one day, so Marie and I actually swung over there, and the horse that I saw that was just amazing. And I thought, the more I thought about it, the more I thought it was perfect, because I wanted to get a briar in Australia, but you know, I thought I would just get a stablemate or two, but then I thought, well, you know, there's nothing really to say that they're from Australia. I mean, I would know it and you guys would know it or whatever, but anyway, I saw Black Caviar there, and I just thought she was so pretty, and her box is all talking about how she's an Australian racing superstar, and I was like, oh, that would be perfect. But she was kind of expensive, more than I wanted to spend that day, well, especially because the trip was expensive, so I was trying to be good. But Marie got sneaky and actually snuck her up to the register and bought her for me and gave her to me right on the spot. So here's Black Caviar from Australia, and she is just absolutely gorgeous. She's been racing across my desk for a little while now. The next problem, I guess, after I got her was how in the heck to get her home. So I left her in her box, and I actually hand carried her on all the planes back. It was, she was my personal item. I had her big briar box in the Horseland bag, all taped up in a tote bag, and that was like my purse. So she rode on the planes with me and made it back in great shape, and so she's out galloping across my desk because she's my model for National Tack Month, which we're about halfway through now. And true to form for myself, I haven't gotten a whole lot done on my project, which I didn't really have an idea before the trip. I knew I wanted to participate, but I didn't know what I would make. And I decided after I got Black Caviar that it would just be perfect to make something for her. So what I'm working on is actually a portrait set of racing tack. So I'm trying to make it as close as I can to Black Caviar's actual tack. And so I've gotten started. I've been working on prepping some leather lace and some buckles and doing a ton of research. I probably have 100 pictures of her racing day, Black Caviar's racing days, that I've been studying the placement of everything on her bridle and stuff. So far, all I have done is this little buckle on a strap. So that's the only piece of it that's actually done. So I have a long way to go and only a couple weeks to do it in. I think I put that for my official entry, it was going to be her bridle, because I think it's a piece of tack, a tack item. But I really do want to try to get her saddle done as well. I've never made an English saddle or a racing saddle, but it's never stopped me before, so I'm just going to go for it and go with the lessons I've been trying to teach myself so far this year, that things don't have to be perfect, they just need to get done. So that's kind of what's going on. Let's see, what else? Oh, when I came back from Australia, I found out that I won some prizes in Nanaimo. Jennifer sent me Van Gogh resin, or resin medallion. I don't know if you'll be able to see him. The lighting is even funkier than usual right now. But he's just super cool. I can't decide what color to paint him. I was actually kind of leaning towards maybe painting him the same color that I painted Chewy. Kind of like a liver chestnut with a flaxen mane and tail. I might do that, or he's pretty cool just unpainted. So I actually have him on a little easel on my desk right now. And I just dropped him. Oops. He's a sturdy little guy. It's okay. If I knew how to edit videos, that could go on like a blooper reel, but I don't, so we'll just leave it in there. Anyway, on the other side of my desk, also on an easel, and I'm going to try really hard not to drop this one, is the prize that I got from last year's Nanaimo, which came from Leslie Kathman. It's a gorgeous little ceramic medallion. So I've kind of started a bit of a collection of medallions from Nanaimo that I have on my desk for inspiration. I guess that's about it for now. I've got plenty of things to talk about. My phone is slipping. I've got plenty of things to talk about with like the trip and things I've been working on since then. We were gone for 2 weeks, and I really hoped to do some videos while we were gone, and it was just busy and crazy in a good way, so that didn't get done. But then I wanted to roll back into the vlogs and stuff as soon as we got home, but after my first day or two of trying to process things, I just hit the ground running. And so even though I've only gotten one buckle done on my tack month project, I have been prepping things like crazy, which is a big deal because I do not like prepping. I enjoy pretty much every other step of making things other than prep. So like prepping horses for paint, it's just tedious, and I'm a perfectionist and I never think it's done. I always find another thing, and it's a real challenge for me to just be like, it's good enough and go forward, which is why deadlines are good for me. But I'm going to try to do it without a deadline and see if I can get some more horses painted here pretty soon. But I've got a handful that I've prepped and primed. And then for making tack, it's doing things like cutting the hardware off the trees from Rio Rondo and filing off the burrs, and putting the tongues on the buckles. And of course, skiving leather is just bah most of the time. But I've just been in this super prepping mood the last couple weeks, and so I've just been going for it. I've got piles of skived leather lace, like all different colors, laying around here, and I've got a growing herd of horses that are about ready for paint, and I've got almost all of my Rio Rondo hardware cut off the trees and filed into little organizers, and yeah, and so I'm actually kind of shifting now into making some things, and it's awesome because I have all this stuff prepped. So I figured that I would really try to make the most of this weird prepping mood that I was in, and I think I did, and I think now I'm ready to actually make some stuff with all these wonderful items that I've prepped. So anyway, I guess I've probably rambled on enough in this moody, dark video. It's almost like a horror movie, like you expect something to pop up in the hall behind me. Rawr. I'm weird. Anyway, so I keep meaning to try to do one of these in the daytime, and my husband's working nights now, and it just hasn't happened, so I just decided to go for it and do a nighttime video. Anyway, thanks for watching. As always, I'd love to hear any comments, any questions. If you want to know more about anything I've talked about, or here or on my blog or anything, just let me know, and I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the like button if you liked the video, and I'll be back hopefully in the next couple days with a more regular daytime video and show you some more of what I'm working on and some of the new faces that I added to the herd. Alright, thanks for watching. Love you guys. Bye.